Because he had 2 Hollywood runs. He had 2 movie runs. His first run, which he refers to as failing hard. Failing hard. Yeah, Cammie said Dennis Rodman wore a dress multiple times. Here's the thing, though. With Rodman, I would totally believe Dennis Rodman cross-dressing was not a Illuminati humiliation ritual. I would totally believe that. Dennis Rodman is completely out of his mind, and I'm a big fan of him, both as a basketball player and as a movie star, even though he didn't do that many movies. Double Team with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Awesome. Awesome film. But Dennis Rodman is so insane. I would totally believe that he cross-dresses because he feels like it and not part of Illuminati humiliation rituals. Because, again, it seems like he had already... I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. But if you had to pick a guy that might have... Yeah, and a diplomat to North Korea. If you had to pick a guy that did it without Illuminati humiliation ritual influence, I would pick Rodman. He might have done it on his own. So here we have John Cena. Now, some people might think his entire run-up through the WWE was a humiliation ritual in and of itself. Because, I mean, John Cena basically just took the wigger character. So he's this pro wrestler wigger who's like the king of wiggers. And he turned this into an entire career in the WWE. I mean, I guess it was original. Did we not have any wigger pro wrestlers before John Cena? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's just, John Cena is so cringe. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I would say this was also where the WWE was broken beyond repair, was the John Cena era. So he goes from wigger pro wrestler, making tons of money as the #1 WWE star. Now he wants to break into Hollywood. So his first run here in Hollywood is with these films. So there's nothing... I have seen all 3 of these movies. I don't see anything in any of them that can be construed as Illuminati humiliation ritual. I thought the Marine was kind of fun. I mean, someone who's a wigger pro wrestler, his performance in the Marine is actually pretty good. There's no wigger antics or anything. And same thing with 12 Rounds, and same thing with Legendary. Legendary is actually like an uplifting... I don't know if it was officially a Disney film or not, or if it was distributed by Disney, whatever. Legendary was like a solid, inspirational movie. Yeah, hold on, Cammie. We're going to get into what happened later with Cena. So this is Cena's first run. This is his first run. He has a couple of these movies. He did another movie called The Reunion, and that seems to be right in between his first run and his second run at Hollywood. Because after that, he's in those Will Ferrell movies, Daddy's Home and all that nonsense. I mean, those are just crap, obviously. He broke through to Hollywood through those movies. But in his first run here, these are... I don't know if I'd call The Marine and 12 Rounds wholesome. But again, I don't see anything in here that's Illuminati humiliation ritual. I just don't see it. Certainly not in Legendary. So now we have... He moves on. As soon as it appears... He's willing to cross-dress. Like, he's doing comedy bits. He's doing even cross-dressing on random social media content. And then, of course, the Stanicki movie or whatever. I don't watch that. I can't. I mean, I basically watch none of the modern Hollywood garbage. But all of a sudden... You take a guy who supposedly failed in his first run. Now, all of a sudden, he's willing to cross-dress and humiliate himself. Now he's top of the top in Hollywood. Top of the top in Hollywood. Now, let's hear his own words about what happened here and see if we can make sense of this. We have WWE wigger to low-level actor to cross-dresser top of the top Hollywood. Please be patient with YouTube. It's like glitching hard on this stream. It's like not letting me put stuff up on the stream again, similar to the Occult NASA podcast. But as long as we're not shut down, it doesn't appear it's going to shut it down at this moment anyway, so hopefully it'll play through here. But I have an interview with John Cena here talking about his first and second run in Hollywood, and there might be some clues here, so pay attention very closely to what he says. He seems to be revealing something through Freudian slips or otherwise on what exactly happened. From his own mouth here. So this is the Fast X interview where he's talking about his first Hollywood run. Yeah, YouTube's doing serious throttling on this channel. I thought it wasn't related because it doesn't seem to do this on any of the other podcasts, like the non-controversial ones. There doesn't appear to be throttling. But this stream here and the Occult NASA stream were not good. But let's see what we can do here. It looks like it's going to...
You said, back, maybe 2009 period, you're like, okay, I'm just not doing movies again. You just did, in your mind, you didn't think it worked out. And it was maybe obviously it was part of the WWE kind of model. So like, does that give you some extra, like, kind of gratitude, knowing where you are now, looking back to where you were in 2009?
Let's just throw this out. I've been given a second chance at the movies. Who the hell gets a first chance? Like, what's going on?
Mr. One-to-One, the wigger definition is the same in the UK and the US. It is definitely a ghetto rapper type character, but it's a white guy. Like, his WWE character was a wigger. I mean, and they were sort of popular in the late 90s, early 2000s. Like, John Cena's rise was kind of mirroring the popularity of wiggers in suburbia of America. But yeah, listen to what he says here because he's going to reveal something.
And like I said, I'll have a lot more failures than successes. So when I began to pursue roles, and
I mean, even his posture here, look how docile and submissive he is. Even the way he's talking, like, there's no confidence here. This is a big jacked guy. And it's almost like he's a beaten dog here, beaten into submission. Now, pay attention to his words.
The initial roles that I found more riveting were comedy roles that I could spoof myself.
Almost like he's convincing himself or trying to talk himself into thinking that this is not humiliating.
And show another side of myself that I haven't been able to show in WWE.
So it's like he's framing it here as if this was his choice. As if this was his choice.
So then I began to look at, like, well, why am I doing this? Why am I drawn to this? Why do I now have passion for this as well as WWE? I love to tell stories. I don't want to go into the octagon. I want to go into the ring because I love telling stories through action. And I love those narratives. It is like a mini fast movie.
I mean, look at his expression and his face. It's like he's mentally completely gone. Because I remember Cena back in the WWE. Like I said, I didn't really watch him. I didn't like him. I think he was responsible largely for the decline of the WWE. But look into his eyes here. Everything from his eyes to his posture. It's like he's mentally gone. I mean, look at the energy on the left. So when he's in, he's full on wigger John Cena, like he's got electricity, like he's pumped. He's not taking any crap from anybody. And then now, look on the right, now he's wearing dresses and he's like mentally been programmed somehow.
We use to our disposal, we use the greatest tools we can to make the most mythical come to life. And that's what I enjoy. And once I found out I could.
And again, just look at his posture here. This was one of the first things that jumped out to me. Like, it's such a submissive, beaten dog type posture. And the mental scrambling to try to frame things of a certain way on why he so-called failed in his first run compared to his now he's in the biggest of the biggest Hollywood movies.
Be comfortable in different characters and be more vulnerable and take more chances. I really have now a passion for making film and making content and making TV.
So it's like to be more vulnerable, aka humiliate yourself. Like, it's kind of weird, right? Because it's not like he's taking deep dramatic roles where he means vulnerable emotionally. Clearly that's not what he means. He's not doing deep dramatic movies. It seems like he's clearly trying to tiptoe around the subject here.
It really, I just did it for the wrong reasons.
I mean, does anybody believe that, Cope? He did it for the wrong reasons. So he's making The Marine, 12 Rounds, and Invincible, this uplifting story about wrestling, inspiring kids and adults alike. This wholesome story with Danny Glover as well. That was for the wrong reasons. Now he's in dresses for the right reasons. Is anybody following here? Yes, Dave Scott. It's like he's really dancing around it, being careful not to say something he shouldn't, but it slips out anyway. Why is he talking about being vulnerable? Again, that's not emotional drama here. We're talking about wardrobe choices. And now it's almost like he's trying to convince himself that he did it for the wrong reasons. Like The Marine and 12 Rounds, I mean, they're not great movies, but they're decent actioneers. And the wrestling movie was actually kind of good. I liked it. Like, keep in mind, I am not a John Cena fan, but that movie was decent. It was decent. Mr. 1-to-1 said if he said it, he'd done it for the money. I'd respect that. Here's the thing, though. Wasn't he already one of the top paid wrestlers ever? I mean, he doesn't need to make movies. He doesn't need to do anything. He could have retired a long time ago.
And I did it for what I felt was the right reasons, and now physically I'm a little different. Mentally, I'm certainly a lot more wise. I have a different perspective on everything.
Mentally, he has a different perspective on it. See, here's the thing. Yeah, Joyce B said 0 macho energy, 0, the opposite of his wrestling career. Correct. So this jacked guy with all these muscles, this athlete who's just beating people up, like, love him or hate him, regardless of the wigger persona, he had energy. You can't deny that. Can't deny that. Now it's like he's docile like a beat dog. Even everything from his posture to the manner in which he is speaking. And he's different mentally now, physically and mentally. I don't know what the physically refers to, whatever kind of rituals they went through, but mentally he's very different now. Very interesting.
And I do love the nuance of film.
I mean, is anybody else picking up on this level of Cope? He's framing it as the nuance of film. Because keep in mind, the context here, what was different about your first run in 2009 and now your current career in Hollywood? That was the question. That was the question.
And I respect the nuance of film. I understand why it takes so long to hang that light.
So he didn't understand how long it took to hang a light in working on The Marine, 12 Rounds, which had a lot of action set pieces, no doubt, sitting around while the lights had to be set up. I mean, he did these movies. Clearly he knew about this. So just the amount of Cope here. I mean, is there anybody who's not picking up on the amount of Cope for selling his soul? And he let it slip with the vulnerability, with being physically and mentally different. And now it's like he's trying to grasp at anything to explain away the nuance. I mean, this is crazy.
And I respect it because it's supposed to look a certain way.
I respect it because it's supposed to look a certain way. I mean, this is weird. And look at these two zombies, no offense. But look at these two zombies he's talking to. I mean, does anybody see anything behind their eyes? It's like there's nothing there. I have no idea who these people are that he's doing the interview with. But I mean, it's just a sad interview across the board.
And when you watch it on screen, it does feel a certain way. And I've been a part of a lot of bad movies. So like when you try to rush the process, well, you get what you get.
So did he explain away his his first run as rushing the process? I mean, no doubt they probably weren't the longest shoots ever, but again, they were still solid movies. They weren't really worse than other movies coming around at the time.
So once again, I think through failure, I found out who I am and what I'm passionate about. And it's amazing you say that, because I remember that conversation vividly that I had with the one person who is kind of my one-man team. And I remember being like, yo, we're never doing movies again, are we? And he was like, you're right.
What? So this, it's like he left out most of the story. So he got the Marine 12 rounds, wait, did I just forget the name? What was the other movie? Did I get the name wrong? Legendary, not Invincible. Invincible was the Mark Wahlberg movie. Yeah, Legendary, the wrestling movie with Danny Glover. And so Legendary was good. And now all of a sudden, like, what was the problem? That he wasn't getting these very top roles in the top of the top Hollywood? And he says, you're not making another movie again? What changed in the interim?
And here we are, you know.
Here we are. That's what changed. It's like he's trying so hard not to say certain things.
No, it's on an overnight sensation that's taken us 20 years.
I mean, this is just such a weird interview. Everything from the posture, the energy, how careful it is. He's talking about nuance. Like, what nuance is there on the Marine or 12? Like, what nuance? I mean, it's just so weird. It's so weird. So let's get to Kevin Hart now, because Kevin Hart is another one that kind of is breaking the veil. Like Chappelle and Kevin Hart both kind of brought this dress wearing in the public eye. So let's examine the entire Kevin Hart saga with breaking through Hollywood by wearing the dress. So he reaches a certain level, and then in order to get to the top of the top, that doesn't happen until after he wears a dress. Kind of weird, right? Kind of weird. I mean, maybe it's all coincidental. Maybe it really is all coincidental. Maybe everything's coincidental. I don't know.